Welcome to my channel for Vaira Citadel. In the last video, we saw problems related to seating arrangement of the people. And we saw how to draw the diagrams based on the information given and how to solve the problems using the diagrams. And today, in this video, we shall discuss about Venn diagram. And Venn diagrams are very important. This topic is very important from NET's point of view because invariably many questions are asked every year from Venn diagram. So now in this video we shall see what a Venn diagram is and how to draw it and what are the various types of Venn diagrams depicting many kinds of relationship between variables and how to solve problems related to these Venn diagrams. Venn diagrams. Venn diagrams are usually illustrations or circles drawn to show the relationship between some group of things or between two or more variables. And usually in a question, the Venn diagrams are given and the students will be asked to analyze it, read it and answer the questions. Sometimes two or more variables will be given and the students are expected to analyze the relationship between these variables and choose the correct Venn diagrams from the given options. So it may be either way. We shall see that in our practice questions. See, in the 4 or 5 coming slides, we are going to see various types of Venn diagrams depicting various kind of relationship between the variables. And see here in this slide you are seeing 3 types of relationships. See in the type 1 you see 2 circles. I told you Venn diagrams are circles drawn showing the relationship between the variables. What are the 2 variables here? Birds and crows. And what is the relationship? This is the relationship. What is that? All crows are birds. We know that each and every crow, all crows are birds, isn't it? They don't belong to mammals or they are not reptiles. All the crows are birds. But can we say all the birds are crows? No. Some birds are crows, some are sparrows, some birds are peacocks. There are many types of birds. So not all birds are crows. Only some birds are crows. So this is the relationship here. That is why we have shown this circle which represent crows inside the big circle which is represent birds. Got it? This circle representing crows is contained in the big circle called birds. So this small circle inside a big circle depicts that all the crows are contained in a class called birds. So that is why a small circle inside a big circle. See, look at the second diagram. This cannot explain this relationship because here one circle, there is another overlapping circle. Only part of it is overlapping. So it will mean that some of the crows are birds. Not all the crows are birds. So this relationship cannot be true. The second one cannot hold good for this type 1, where we know definitely that all the crows are birds. So it's a small circle contained inside a big circle. So type 1 depicts this relationship that all crows are birds and some birds are crows. Remember, not all birds are crows. So that I have not written. You should know. It will, increase the space and I will not have enough space for the explanation and for the other diagrams. So I have left it. You can add that also. And now look at the type 2 relationship where it says there are 2 circles again. So each variable is represented by a single separate circle. The two variables are doctors and females. And what is the relationship here? They are overlapping. The two circles are slightly overlapping. And because some doctors are females. Not all doctors are females. Some doctors are females. In the same way, some females are doctors. Not all females are doctors. So these two statements also hold good for this relationship. So this region, this yellow region represent those doctors who are females. And what about this region? This region represent just doctors. They are not females. That means male doctors. And here, this is a whole group called females and some of them are doctors. This yellow region represent the number of females who happen to be doctors. What about this region? This region are the females who are not doctors. You got it? So this Venn diagram represents the second type of relationship. And the type 3, we are going to see totally 11 type of relationship. And there could be more also, but as far as NET is concerned, only these are the main types of relationship. In the type 3, you are seeing two groups of variables, apples and bananas. And you know that they both are fruits. But here it's a separate group of fruits and this is a separate group of fruits. So we have drawn it showing two different circles. Because apples are different fruits and bananas are different fruits. Suppose you can also draw a big circle which can be named as fruits, isn't it? This circle you can call fruits, which is another kind of relationship. F-R-U-I-T-S. So fruits is a bigger group containing two small groups. Apple is one group and banana is one group. So this can be drawn this way also, but here we are not bothered about a bigger group, only we are discussing about apples and bananas. So which type of relationship? So in this one, what does it show? What does it go to say? This no apples are bananas, no overlapping. Can you call some of the apples are bananas or some of the bananas are apples? No, you cannot call them. So no apples are banana and no bananas are apples. So apples and bananas are two different groups. There were no relationship unless you put a bigger circle calling it as a fruit. So this is the third type of relationship. Now we shall see more types of Venn diagram. Now type 4 and all these things. Here we are going to see type 4, type 5 and type 6. Different types of, 3 types of Venn diagrams. Here 3 variables are involved. In the first slide we saw 3 types, 1, 2, 3 types of relationship showing 2 variables, the relationship between 2 variables. Now in this slide we are going to see the relationship between 3 variables. See here type 4. Now in this type 4 what you are seeing is 3 variables. What are they? Fruits, vegetarian food and food. So you know that food is a big circle. Food includes all vegetarian and non-vegetarian. We are not bothered about non-veg. We are pakka vegetarians. Okay? Because this is Puratasi month. So this is a bigger circle, food, and all vegetarian food is contained in a bigger group called food. Because vegetarian food are nothing but food. So it's a smaller circle. And inside vegetarian food, we have got a smaller circle, fruits. And of course, inside the circle vegetarian food, you've got fruits and salads and so many other things. We are not bothered about it. So only 3 variables are given. What are they? Fruits, vegetarian food and food. So how will you draw the Venn diagram? The fruits is a smaller circle contained in a bigger group called vegetarian food, which again comes in a still bigger circle called food. So this is the diagram depicting the relationship between these 3 variables, fruits, vegetarian food and food. Now we can say here all fruits are vegetarian food and all vegetarian food are food. Okay. And going to the next type of relationship, type 5. Again, 3 variables. What are they? Apples, bananas, and fruits. So you know that fruits is a bigger circle containing 2 different groups. Apples, which is a different group of fruits, and banana, which is a different group. We saw it in the earlier slide. There we stopped with apples and bananas. But now the bigger circle, the third variable, fruits have come. So we are putting another bigger circle around apples and bananas. Which, now this type of relationship, what does it say? Some fruits are apples and some fruits are bananas. And there are other still here spaces left. You can include there other fruits like kiwi fruits, dragon fruits and mangoes and whatnot. So all these empty spaces represent other fruits. And inside these fruits, you have got 2 small groups. Apple is one group and bananas are another group of fruits. And so some fruits are apples, some fruits are bananas, and there are other fruits also. And all apples are fruits. That is why you put them inside the bigger circle. And all bananas are fruits because you put them in a bigger circle fruits. So this Venn diagram you should choose in order to show this type of relationship. And the examples may vary, that's all. Instead of apple, bananas, fruits, you may contain vegetables names. Okay, or something else, any variable for that matter. You should see which contains what, which overlaps what. That's all you have to see and draw the diagram accordingly. Usually, you will not be asked to draw the diagram. There will be already drawn Venn diagrams. You have to choose the correct Venn diagram. So all the more easier for you. And the type 6 relationship, again 3 variables. What are the variables? Females, one variable, and males is another variable, and professionals is the another variable. So we have 3 circles here which overlap. What does it mean? Some professionals are females. This one, this intersecting point, this overlapping portion, represent professionals who are females, and some professionals are males. This portion, we will use some other color, not red, yellow color. We will choose with a red color, pink. Let me see. Maybe getting yellow color. Well, where is my cursor? Where is my marker? It goes. Yeah. So this group, this intersecting points, are professionals who are males. So some professionals are females, this group, red group, and some professionals are males, yellow group. And what about this group, the third, the remaining professionals? As you know, it could be intersex or transgender, we don't know. We are not bothered about that. And now what does this group mean? Females outside this professional group, they are not professionals. They are something else, laborers or daily wagers, just say housewives. And here, this group of males also denotes they are not professionals. They are males working somewhere else. They are not professional workers, okay? So, this is the kind of relationship. This Venn diagram, 3 circles overlapping each other. You got it? This is another time. Again with 3 variables. Type 7th relationship, 8th type of relationship, and this diagram depicts 9th type of relationship. Again 3 variables. Look at the 7th type of relationship where where the 3 variables are professors and NET qualified like you. NET qualified people who are net qualified, and people with PhD. So three groups of variables, and these three groups are overlapping. All three circles are overlapping. And so, what does this denote? Some professors are net qualified. Some of them are professors, and some of them, out of those professors, some of them are net qualified, which denote this violet region denotes professors with net. Alright? And some professors are with PhD. Who are they? This blue. This region denotes professors who are with PhDs, but they are not net qualified. And there are some professors who are both with PhD and with net. What color represent that? Green in the center. See this region. Represent those professors who are both PhD qualified and net qualified. And of course, there are some professors, this region, see this region, which is not overlapping with net nor with PhD. They are professors who are neither net qualified nor PhDs. And in the same way, this region, this white region, represent net qualified people, but they are not professors and they don't have PhD. And this region represent, this white region represent, they are just PhD holders. They do not have net, and they are not holding the post of professors. So that other groups are also there. The pathetic thing is those with both net and PhD qualification, but they are not professors. This group is, they are with PhD and net. This yellow group, they are both with net and with PhD, but they are not professors. That is the saddest part. So this kind of overlapping, you should know how to draw the Venn diagram, how to select the appropriate Venn diagram. Coming to the eighth type of relationship, we have got an example of peacocks, which is a group of birds, and we have got one big class called the trees and the third class called mango trees. So we know that all mango trees are trees, so it comes under, or it is inside the bigger group trees. All the mango trees are contained inside the bigger group called trees. Okay. And peacocks, of course, they don't come under trees and they don't come under mango trees. So they form the separate group. That is why we got one separate small circle and two circles, and one smaller circle is contained in the bigger circle called trees. So this is the eighth type of Venn diagram. And let me remove this red circle so that it's clear. And the next type of relationship, we see two overlapping circles and one separate circle. Females and teachers. It overlaps. Some of the females are teachers and some of the teachers are females. We can say it either way. And farming is a separate group denoting a profession. So it does not have any relationship with the teacher, and it does not have any relationship with females. It is entirely different. So we have put it as a separate group. Alright, this is the ninth type of relationship. So look at the variables and see what type of relationship could exist between all the three. Between 1, 2, 3, and between 1 and 2, and between 1 and 3, and between 2 and 1, 2 and 3, and between 3 and 1, 3 and 2. All the types of relationship you should see before choosing the correct appropriate Venn diagram. See in the last two types of relationship, here also three variables. See the 10th type of relationship where again three variables, teachers, bilinguals and females. So this bilingual, all three are overlapping. All three circles are overlapping, meaning that some of the teachers are bilinguals and some of the teachers are female, and all bilinguals are teachers because the full circle is contained inside teachers, and some of the females are bilinguals and some of the bilinguals are females. So all combination is possible in this type of relationship. And in the type 11th, the last type of relationship, there are again three variables: females, housewives, and teachers. And females and teachers are overlapping, meaning that some of the females are teachers and some of the teachers are females. But when it comes to housewives, all the housewives are females because we have said housewives. That means ladies. So they are females. So the entire circle, housewife, is contained in a bigger circle called females. Okay. And there is no overlapping between housewives and teachers. There cannot be. One cannot be a housewife and at the same time teacher. If she is a housewife, she takes care of the house, does not teach. And teachers cannot be housewives. So the circle is contained inside female. So this is the only difference between the 10th and 11th type of relationship. I hope you got all the types of relationship clear. When to draw or when to choose the correct Venn diagram. So when to choose the correct Venn diagram. This is VENN. Okay. We will jump into problems on Venn diagram. Look at the first problem, which says that given below is a diagram of three circles A, B, C overlapping each other. Circle A represents the class of honest people and B represents the class of sincere people, and the circle C represents a class of rich people. Now P, Q, R, S, U, X, Y represent different regions. See, P is here, Q is here, R is here, S is here, and U, X, Y. Here marked. Okay, alright. Now I will remove this because we don't want any confusion. Let me remove all these things. And now read the question. So this is the question asked. Select the code that represents the region of the class of honest rich people who are not sincere. See, be careful and reading the question. It's slightly tricky. They are not asking honest, rich and sincere people, but they are asking honest, rich people, but they are not sincere, who are not sincere. So you should choose that particular region where the honest and rich people intersect, but not the sincere people. So which is honest? A is honest. This circle is honest, and B is the sincere. This is sincere people, and C is the rich people. Now we want honest rich people. This region is honest, and this region fully represent honest, and this region represent honest and rich people and sincere. But we don't want sincere, so remove this region, P region. The P region should go off. So what is remaining? Yes. So this region alone is people who are honest, and this region who are rich but not sincere. So the answer is yes. So I will delete this so that it is clear to you. Okay. Right. So again, as I have told in the last video, I have given the answer directly. That means S is the region. Yes, region. This region alone depicts people who are honest and rich but not sincere. But there in your question paper, they will give options. A containing R, B option containing Q, and C option containing S. So you have to see which option contains S. The correct answer is region S. So which option contains yes, you should see and then select C. But here I'm not giving you multiple choice because I don't want more confusion to you. So I have directly given the correct answer, which is the region yes. Okay. But you should know that you will be given 4 options to confuse you. But don't get confused. Be clear that the region is yes. You see where which option contains the region. Yes, you select that option. Here it is. Yes, direct answer is yes, region. You got it? Yes. Go in the second problem paragraph. There are 3 interlocking circles. A, the circle is named A, P and S, which represent A represent artist and P for professionals and S for sports person. 3 circles. And you have different letters from A to F. So A is here, B is here, C is here, D is here, E is here, F is here, G is here. Now, read the question. There are 3 questions you have to answer. First question, which region represent artists who are neither sportsmen nor professors? So, you know, neither means they are neither sportsmen nor professors, but they are only artists. So A represent artists, this group. And they should not be sportsmen nor there should not be any overlapping between the circle of sportsmen nor with professors. So this is the only E is the artist region which contain only artists, no who are neither sportsmen nor professors. So E is the correct answer. The second question says which region represent professors who are both sportsmen and artists? So now go to the circle professors P, and in this circle select the professor who are both sportsmen and artists. So there should be overlapping between the artist circle and also with the sportsman circles. So this both, he should be both, all the 3, professor and he should be a sportsman and he should be an artist. So the intersecting point of all the 3 circles, which is the intersection region which contains all A, P and S. This A region contains all. Isn't it? So the second answer is A because G contains only artists and professionals. And this A alone contains all the 3, artists, professionals and sports person. This region A. So we want all 3 in the second question. Professors who are both sportsmen and artists. And look at the third question which says which region represent professor who are also sportsmen but not artists? So look at the professor's region. This circle is the professor. P is the professor's circle. And it should have intersection with sportsmen but not artist. So this region. C region represents professionals or professionals who are sportsmen but not artists. This circle excludes artists. So the C region represents professors who are, this is not professor, they are professionals. So change this as professional, SSI O-N. Change this professor as professionals. Alright. So the answer for the third question is C, who are professionals but also sportsmen but not artists. Look at the circles. My circle, the blue circle has become very faded, thin in line. I wanted to change it, but it takes a lot of time. So I want my video to reach you earlier for you to prepare the exam. So I left it as such. So I'm sorry, they are very thin and light. I hope you are able to see the circles A, P, and S. And here replace the word professors with professionals. Now, the third problem, which says if two small circles represent the class of men and the class of plants, and the big circle represents mortality, which of the following Venn diagram represents the preposition all men are mortal? So, what is this preposition all men are mortal meaning? We know that mortality refers to death. All men must die one day or other. All human beings, they have to die. So all men are mortal. So the meaning of the proposition is all men are mortal. Of course, the plants also die, but they are not mentioned. So we should see only this preposition, all men are mortal. So it says the two smaller circles, one circle represents uh, men, another circle represents, smaller circle represents plants. So the big circle represents mortality. Mortality means death. So now, which of the following diagram? There are A, B, C, D, four diagrams. Venn diagrams are given, which represents correctly the proposition all men are mortal. So this one, what does it mean? Both mortality is the big circle, and one is the plants, and one is the plant. Another one is the men. So both men and plants are mortal, but that is not our proposition. Here only men are mentioned. So this is logically correct B, but we are not going to select B. And look at the diagram C. We've got the big circle which is mortality, and inside which men are there, and another separate circle the plants. Because the plants are not mentioned in the proposition, we are going to select only C, because the bigger group mortality contains all the men inside. So C is the correct answer. And just to see the D circle also, what is we should not immediately, as soon as you find the correct answer, don't put the correct answer, go and see all the options available. The last option is D, where mortality is there, and once, say for example, all the men are mortal, inside is there, okay, but here the plants, half plant is inside, that means half the plants are mortal, but here the preposition does not say that, so D is also not correct. So C is the correct answer. You got my point. And of course, as I have told you again, in your UGC-NET exam, the direct ABC will not be given. You will the four options will be there. A may state C and B may say state A. So you should look for the option which contains the correct answer C. So choose that option. Now the last problem on Venn diagram. If two smaller circles represent formal education, formal classroom education and distance education, and a big circle represents university system of education, which figure represents the university system? So two small circles. What are they? Formal classroom and distance education. See here, four options are given, A, B, C, D, and in the A, the two smaller circles, that is formal classroom education, distance education, they are given distinctly away from the university system of education, which is not possible. And because we know that whether it is formal classroom education or distance education, they all come within the university system. So the option B, which has got the bigger circle, that is the university system containing the both the smaller circles, containing the classroom education and the distance education. So B is the correct answer. But anyway, we should proceed checking with the other options also. The C, the small circle is outside. One small circle is contained within the larger circle, university system. That means the formal. We assume that formal classroom is contained within the university system and distance education apart from the university system, which is not fact. All the system, whether it is classroom, formal classroom system or distance, they all come within this university system. So the C cannot be the correct answer. And D option has got one big circle, which is the university system of education containing the formal classroom education fully contained within that university system, and the distant education partially overlapping the university system, which is again not the case, because we know in any system of education, or both the formal system and the classroom education and distant education, they all come within the big larger system of university education. So B is the correct option. Well friends, that is all for this video today on Venn diagram. We have seen all different types of relationship between the variables and how to solve the problems with the given statements. Now with that we are ending up this video, and I think there is only one more subtopic left under this chapter, mathematical reasoning and aptitude, that is classification. And I think the next video I'll come up with that classification, and with that we'll be closing the chapter, the fifth chapter, mathematical reasoning and aptitude, and we will go on to some other chapter like maybe logical reasoning, or maybe information and communication technology, or maybe people development and environment, or maybe the 10th chapter, higher education system, or maybe comprehension. You'll be wondering in what way I could help you in comprehension. I can give you a lot of important words in English for which you have to know the meaning in order to understand a passage. So maybe that I will come up with the next topic. Until then, bye bye. Meantime, if you have not subscribed to my channel on Vaira Citadel, please do so and click the bell icon for further notification. Thank you.